sunny day, Mr. Sun, won't you stay and warm me with your rays all day long? Hello, beloved Freemelons, how are you? I hope everyone's doing very well. I am Eli, and just a couple of things that crossed my mind that I'd love to share with you. I saw a movie last night. I saw a movie called Caliber. It's about two people that go into the woods to hunt. There's a situation that befalls them, and the rest of the movie is how they extricate themselves from the problem. So the movie was fine. The movie was great. There was one line and one behavior in the movie that relates to the subject matter that we tackle in this channel, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. So let me paint the scene. The two main characters are off to go hunting. They're on the road, and one of the characters asks the other one if he thinks he's ready for hunting. So I'll play the clip for you, and we'll discuss it after.
Reckon you can take down a deer?
No. Probably not, no.
Not everyone can do it. The trick is you have to switch off your emotions, let instinct kick in.
It doesn't seem very fair to me, man, shooting a deer.
Well, life's not fair for him. We learnt that at school.
Yeah, but we were 12, weren't we?
Okay, did you hear that? He says that everyone can hunt, but you have to switch off your emotion and then let your instinct take over. That's a very interesting line. Now, this goes out to a lot of the meat eaters that are at least aware of higher morality and are trying to change. And for new people coming to the channel, this is just something to think about. You have to switch off your emotion and allow instinct to take over. That's very interesting. Because instinct and emotion often come paired with one another in human beings and other beings of higher conscious ability, higher conscious faculty, right? The ability to reason and conceptualize that only comes with more consciously evolved beings. The part of your mentality that makes up your emotional capacity is very, very important. You don't necessarily want this center to be shut off. Your emotions serve as a moral compass. Running your perceptions through the emotional filter can gain you very precious insight as to the nature of the thing that you're perceiving. And yes, of course, I do understand that social manipulators and social engineers also can harness and use emotional mind control as a way to subjugate a population or to get them to think and behave in a way that they choose. So yes, I'm not saying that the emotions are always a source of unfiltered raw truth, because emotions can be manipulated. But of course, we always want to have our emotion and our rational thinking faculties, both polarities, in a state of balance. So for example, if someone hears a truth that makes them emotionally triggered, but the truth is a truth, well, nothing is going to change that. Your emotions don't have anything to do with the fact that you just heard a truth. So understand what I'm saying is emotion and rational thought have to be used in balance and always on, right? If that's done, then you're safe. Never shutting off emotion completely, and of course not using it in the absence of rational thinking and rational thought. Okay, that's what I mean to say. This is a critical human tool. You would never want to shut this off. And the thing is, when it comes to meat eating, this is something that a lot of people will subscribe to. So let me put it to you straight. The fact that you would feel emotion that would stop you from killing another animal is your instinct, okay? The instinct itself is the emotion that prevents you from pulling the trigger when you see a beautiful deer that you would rather pet and rather feed instead of killing, right? Now, if a hunter is advising you that you need to switch off that judgment, that entire judgment center, and just go ahead and kill, then what he's doing is he's telling you that you need to divorce yourself from a critical agent of human judgment before you make this action. And that, my friends, is what we call cheating your nature. Humans come with a very evolved and delicate emotional center, which we can use to gauge our actions in the physical world. It also helps us glean what our relationship to the animal kingdom is. So when you go to the zoo and you see cows and you see bulls and you see rhinos and you see monkeys and you see ducks and you see bears and you see all of these wonderful creatures, and your emotional instinct, your emotional go-to feeling is that of awe and wonder and curiosity and an urge to support them, right? What do you want to do with animals? What's the one thing kids want to do with animals? Feed them and pet them. There's this instinctual thing that makes us feel reverence for these animals and wants to help them. We want to care and we want to provide. The emotional instinct when you see a baby gorilla at the zoo is not to eat the bloody thing, right? It also does not do that for a deer, the prized possession of the hunter, right? There is no instinct in you that tells you to do that. You have to be culturally programmed, okay? Do you understand? You have to be culturally programmed to override those centers and to shoot the deer instead of go with your natural instinct, which makes you just want to look at it and admire how pretty it is. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have a deer who's so interested in you in the wild, comes up to you and starts, rubbing its head on you and sees you're friendly and gives you a lick or two, your heart would be exploding with happiness. Exploding. And I guarantee you, anyone blessed to have that situation come upon them, the last thing that they will be thinking would be, well, if I bury my frugivore teeth into his legs, I bet that would be really, really tasty. Right? And I'm not talking about meat products. I'm not talking about, I bet if I took this thing home after I killed it and skinned it and cleaned it and cooked it so as to completely destroy it and then seasoned the hell out of it so that it's a completely different substance, than what it naturally... That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about right then and there. Is the instinct to bite into the deer? No? Well, what have you just learned about yourself? So anyway, yeah, this thing about hunting, when we have so many other means of food acquisition within our grasp, within our capacity to attain, that doesn't require the commission of killing, right? You have to understand that unfortunately, there's no... You know that I love you all. You know that everything I do comes from a place of love and concern for the higher development of humankind, but also for the protection of all forms of life, okay? That's where this is coming from. Now, unfortunately, there's no delicate way to put this, but if you are of the mindset where, in spite of all of the easily accessible types of food that require no tragedy and no slaughter and no killing, right? In spite of all of these things, when one makes the willful choice to not only kill, but support those that do kill, right? When it is blatantly obvious that to do so is not necessary for the optimal human function. Okay, we know this, we're way beyond this, right? Well beyond the point of thinking that you need meat to survive. If anyone thinks you need meat to live, you're living on the wrong planet. I don't know what to say. The evidence is just... So to know that, and to continue to support the institution of slaughter, and to support murderers, or to murder animals yourself, it requires an undeveloped sense of conscience. For you to do that behavior, it means that your sense of conscience has to be more basic than the other person who does not do that action for moral reasons. It has to be. There's no other way to define it. Unfortunately, there's no other way that I can describe the discrepancy between those who do not choose to kill and those who do. The ones that do choose to kill, knowing that it's not necessary, right? In order to do that, you have to be of a lower moral grade, a lower tier of conscience. It has to be, right? I mean, even if my words spark emotional outrage at me, is there really a way to disagree with that? I mean, I can't see how there is. Anyway, the other thing that we've touched on briefly on this channel is ways to enervate the system, how you can weaken the body's reserve forces. And one of the ways that you can weaken your reserve force is by eating at the wrong time. So there's a part in the movie where one of the characters is very emotionally distraught over something that happened previously in the film, and he goes to dinner and tries to eat while he's in a state of complete emotional, anguish. So I'll play you the clip. Here it is.
We're not the village. Not anymore. Slowly over time. All these kind of villages. Are you not enjoying that?
No, it's lovely, lovely.
Is that a boy at a gill you're having?
Just a second. Be right back.
Right, now this is true. Now why is that, right? When you are in pain, when the human body is in pain, severe pain of any kind, right? Whether it's physical pain, whether it's emotional pain, you should not eat. Okay, let me repeat that. When you are in emotional pain, when you are under stress, heavy stress, or when you are under physical pain, you should refrain from eating food. Why is that? Because all of the digestive functions are put under secondary or tertiary consideration when the body is in these conditions. The body wants to solve the more pressing immediate problems before it even thinks of digesting food. So to try to eat when you are in pain means that you are trying to digest food where the digestive faculty is not operating. Of course, what's going to happen is your food will not be digested, and it will sit there and it will rancify, and it will turn rotten, it will putrefy, it will ferment, and it will be the cause for future illness. Okay? Put yourself in this scenario. You're at home enjoying a nice sunny day, you're in the backyard reading or whatever, describing what I like to do. Someone knocks on your door, you answer the door, and they say to you, excuse me, Mr. So-and-so, but all of your money from your bank account has been drained to zero. Now, they hit you with that information. Let's say that you were on your way to the kitchen to prepare yourself a meal, and then that's when the doorbell rings, and you go answer the door. What would happen to your hunger upon hearing the news that all of your money is gone? What do you think would happen? You think you'd still be hungry? You think that your immediate pressing urge as soon as you hear that information would be, oh, sorry, I can't deal with this right now. I'm a bit hungry. I gotta go eat. Yeah, you're kidding yourself. The hungry feeling would immediately subside. It would just dissipate without you even noticing, and stress would fill your body. You would start asking questions. Well, how did this happen? Blah, 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 blah. All that stuff, right? So what fate has befallen this hunger that was so pressing moments ago? Well, it's because the hunger, A, isn't real, but B, hunger is the subordinate to pain and emotional disturbance and emotional strife. So guys, please, trust me on this one, okay? Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. When you are in pain, physical pain, when you are in emotional pain, or when you are stressed, especially when you're sick, all right? Please take my advice on this. You will thank me if you do. Trust me on this. Do not eat, even if you are slightly hungry, even if you do feel a little bit of hunger. Do not eat under these circumstances because you do not have digestive power going to the right organs under these conditions. You must wait until you are emotionally and physically poised and calm before you think about eating. Okay? If you do this, you will eliminate much of the cause of disease and disorder. Anyway, thanks for hearing me talk on and on about this, but yeah, I thought it was fun and I thought it was important to just share some of the ideas from this movie that I saw. And pretty good movie, so if you feel like it, check it out. Alright, anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for hearing me out. Happy health, happy life, happy wellness, and I will see you guys next time on the next Freemelon video.